Virtue. It's a word that is barely used anymore. Simply put, virtue is a behavior that shows a high moral standard. Maybe it's not used anymore because it doesn't exist anymore. The only time we really hear the word anymore is in a negative way, in the modern expression virtue signaling, which is a way of putting down someone who is only giving their opinion to show their moral superiority on the issue. The problem with virtue signaling is that it's often used to show how much you hate someone or something. For instance, these "hate has no home here" signs that popped up on lawns all across the country when Donald Trump was president, it was more anti-Trump than anti-hate. Because when you asked the homeowners how they felt about Donald Trump,
I just hate him, I hate him, I hate him.
But I thought hate had no home in your home. By the way, those "hate had no home here" signs were vandalized and destroyed more than any other yard signs, which is ironic. Virtue signaling is a euphemism for fake virtue. It's not used to lift someone up, it's used to make someone look bad, so it's not a virtue at all. Maybe virtue is just impossible in a divided country where we hate people who are different from us, who have a different opinion. How is virtue even possible when we can't be civil or kind to one another? When we define people by their differences instead of embracing what we have in common? It's not that men and women of virtue don't exist. They're actually all around us, helping others with kindness and humility. They're the ones that show up when things are at their worst. They're defined by 4 simple words. How can I help? Men and women of virtue are just turned off by our toxic political climate, a climate that values fake strength over true virtue. The problem is that we need them now. We need people of virtue in leadership positions more than ever. There have been men and women in history who have risen to prominence to heal a divide and fight injustice using the power of virtue. Yes, they were angry, probably even hateful, but they suppressed those feelings because they knew that hate just begets hate and violence begets violence. Thomas Paine, the great American political philosopher, gave intellectual reasoning to the American Revolution when he penned one of the most important works in our nation's history. It was called Common Sense. One of the most important quotes from Common Sense sums up everything I've been trying to say in 4 words. Virtue is not hereditary. Paine was trying to warn us that the principles, that the values that formed American democracy could be corrupted, even destroyed, if we didn't take care. If only Thomas Paine could see us now. But a return to virtue could lead to a new American revolution of kindness and forgiveness that could heal America. This isn't a hollow dream on my part. It's happened before. Mahatma Gandhi brought freedom and independence to the people of India, and he famously did so using the virtues of truth and nonviolence. America's civil rights movement was led by a man who never once spoke of hate, but inspired us all with the visions of a better America.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Never hateful, always inspirational. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. brought a divided country closer together. We sure could use someone like Dr. King or Gandhi right now. With all my being, I want to believe that virtue is not dead, that men and women of virtue are still out there and will rise to lead us when we need them. If you are out there, we need you now. I'm Larry Menti. We'll talk again soon.